On my healing journey, I always travel economy. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Raphael and I am here to review Season 5, Episode 3 of The Real Housewives getting their designs from Alibaba of Salt Lake City. We start the episode off with everybody getting ready for their trip to Milwaukee. Right. We see Whitney, she's packing up all her stuffed animals, a couple of spoons to stir the pot with. We see Meredith at her 5th rental home and she's talking to her husband, Zeph. She's just telling him like, well, you know what, honey? I'm not really sure if I should go on this trip to Milwaukee with the rest of the cast, because I feel like me and Whitney, we still have some unfinished business because I told you that she was trying to steal my bath bomb ideas and I don't really know how I feel about that. Zeph is just like, okay, but why do you have to hang out with Whitney, though? There's other stars on this show, too, like Lisa Barlow, Heather Gay, even though Heather's becoming so annoying with this whole screenshot, timeline, receipt thing. Like, give it a rest already. Like, damn. We still have both of them, and they're evolving, at least unlike Whitney. And I'm like, evolving where? Have you not watched the last season with Heather specifically? Where has she evolved? If anything, she downgraded, but okay, Zeph. Then we head over to Bronwyn's Barbie dream house, and she's talking to Santa Claus. And just like I said last week, her house is just very in your face with all these colors. They should really put a warning like, hey, back up from your screen, have some water and some Advil on standby because you might get nauseous, you might see some flashing colors. Because as I'm listening to this conversation between her and her 93-year-old husband, I'm trying to concentrate like, okay, I'm trying not to get nauseous looking at this whole decoration, but okay, she's talking about Lisa. Okay, she's talking about Lisa, how she could have been a better friend. Is that a rainbow couch? Okay, no, focus. Okay, she's talking about Lisa. Okay. Is that a blue kitchen? Listen, look. Okay, she's talking about Lisa. Is that a bird cage in the corner? What the hell? It's just way too much going on in the background to concentrate on what she's talking about. But she feels some type of way about Lisa not jumping in on the whole gang up of Heather trying to make a moment, last week and everything. And honestly, I don't really think that you needed Lisa to defend you, Bronwyn, because you did a really good job at defending yourself against Heather. Heather, if anything, she made a complete fool of herself again for the 100th time on this show. So, meanwhile, we see Mary. She's also packing. Whitney calls her. Mary's just like, look, I'm not coming with you guys. I'll just see you in Milwaukee talkie. When I get there, just tell everybody else. Whitney's just like, okay, fine. If it was anybody else, I would give them a hard time. Since it's you, I know if I tried to give you a hard time, you're going to put me in my place. You're going to call me a little girl. You're going to call me a bobblehead. I'm going to cry for 3 weeks straight. So you know what? We'll see you in Milwaukee. Then we head over to Angie K. Elemental P's big ass house. She's there with her suspicious husband, Sean. And is it me or is it every single time we see Sean on screen, it's like we caught him doing something illegal?
I'm just so excited for this trip to Milwaukee. I can't wait to wear my sunglasses and have a good time with
Angie's excited to show off her new glasses. That's her thing with the Greek flag on it. And she's like, honey, how do you like my new sunglasses with the Greek flag on it? I'm going to be representing in Milwaukee. So then suspicious Sean, he's looking at the glasses all suspiciously. And I'm like, I don't know. It's just something about him. I need a background check. I want to see something. So then Angie, she gives us some very interesting information. And she's like, well, Sean, I have a friend who does my eyebrows. And she posted a picture on Instagram on her Instagram story, right? Well, this man, he replied to the story and he slid into her DMs. Come to find out that the man who slid into her friend's DMs, well, I wouldn't necessarily say it's her boyfriend, fiance, husband, whatever, on again, off again situationship to chaotic Brittany. You know chaotic Brittany, right? From last week, from the last couple of episodes, that she's been acting a hot mess. So her on again, off again situationship, he slid into Angie K's friend's DM and he said, oh, wow, you look like fun. So the friend replied, oh, yeah, I've been told that I'm a handful, you little skank you. So then he replies, oh, really? Do tell. And then he sends an emoji with the tongue out. And you know what the emoji with the tongue out stands for, right? Right? You know what that represents, right? He's trying to... Wait, hold on. He's trying to get to you and that booty. Trying to get to you and that booty. What did Candy from the Housewives of Atlanta say on the song? Yeah, so you looking, my ass in these jeans got you shookin'. Don't know what you gonna do with this pussy. I still cannot believe that was her on that song so many years ago, but Yeah, he just got caught cheating on his best friend, situationship, whatever you want to call it, and it's all on camera with the receipts. So eventually they all get to the airport. Bronwyn is giving the coldest shoulders to Lisa Barlow. Lisa's trying to engage in a conversation with her at 4 o'clock in the morning, and she's like, "Hi, Bronwyn. Hi, baby gorgeous. How are you? Do you want to go get breakfast? Maybe there's a Taco Bell inside the airport. Let's go get some. I love it." Bronwyn, she's not giving her the time of day. She's just putting on her tacky coat like, hey Lisa, good morning. No, I'll see you inside. I'm like, wow, she is pissed. Eventually, they all make it inside, and then we see Meredith, Miss, oh, I'm not really sure if I'm coming to Milwaukee. And now who's coming to Milwaukee? So according to Whitney, she got a text from Meredith last minute saying, oh, I changed some plans around on my schedule. I could make it on the trip. AKA Andy probably texted her like, hey, if you don't make it to the cast trip to Milwaukee, you're not going to get your Bravo check by this Friday. And speaking of, I was very impressed at Whitney being able to afford a private jet plane for everybody. I'm like, since when does Whitney have that type of money? And at first I'm thinking, ooh, a private jet plane, so expensive, so luxurious, until I saw the entire cast sitting shoulder to shoulder inside the jet plane with no space, no oxygen, no nothing. They're competing for oxygen with the person next to them. They were looking like a pack of sardines just sitting there like, shoulder to shoulder, like, Heather, move over, my pinky toe. Lisa, you're stepping on my pinky toe, my rib cage. And at one point, they were trying to do a toast, and they were like, just move over a little bit. Hold on, I'm trying to do a toast. Yay, Milwaukee. Like, absolutely not. If I have to be on a private jet plane and compete with the person next to me for some oxygen, just put me on economy on a regular plane. Because this is not worth it. Now we're gonna land in Milwaukee. I'm gonna have a dislocated shoulder, a broken rib, a couple of bruises on my thighs. My pinky's gonna be crushed. Like, absolutely not. Whitney, I see why you could afford a private jet plane because you didn't get the big jumbo one. Instead, you got the mini. She got the mini jet plane. Now I see what you're doing. Mary's already in Milwaukee, and she tells us that her father used to live there, and he used to pick up on certain smells, which clearly that's a thing in her family, because if we all remember on season 1, Mary picked up on the whole hospital smell that Jen Shah had, right? So come to find out that these strange smells were coming from his neighbor, Jeffrey Dahmer. Eventually, Jeffrey got caught, he went to jail, and her father got to witness the whole thing. And like I've said before, I really like Mary sharing more about herself. I love this more personal side to her this season. Everybody else makes it to the hotel/house that they're staying at. It's a cute place. They sit down at the table to eat some charcuterie board, and then I believe the irrelevant friend of the show, Melee, starts talking. Which leads Lisa to talk about her son, Jack. She starts getting emotional because Jack, he's in Colombia doing a Dora the Explorer mission. And like I said last season, I'm half Colombian, and I don't like that he's in Colombia trying to convert Colombian people to join the stupid cult of his. Like, keep the BS in Salt Lake City or to yourself. Don't try to go other places to try to convert people and take advantage of them. I don't like that. So, she's getting all emotional. She's like, oh my God, I don't want to talk about Jack right now. I'm getting very emotional. Hold on, give me 1 second. Hold on, because Jack is my baby gorgeous, and I miss him a lot, and he's been having stomach aches, and give me 1 second, because I don't love that. Can you give me a Diet Coke? Thank you. And can you give me 2 tacos from Taco Bell, please? Thank you. Extra cheese. Thank you. But yeah, I'm getting very emotional because I don't want to talk about Jack right now. So come to find out that Jack, he's having stomach issues, and something's going on with him, and, somebody on Twitter said that the reason why he's having stomach aches is because his stomach is adjusting to eating good food compared to eating just Taco Bell with Lisa. That is terrible to say, but I believe it because, like I said, I'm half Colombian, and Colombian food, oof, nothing compares because, he's probably eating so good, like chicharrón, arroz with the mini paisa, with just everything, the empanadas, just so good, right? So I wouldn't put it past it. Lisa, she's getting all emotional, she's crying. Mary, she gets up to comfort her, and she's hugging her, and I'm like, wow, like, they've really come a long way all together as a group, right? Eventually, Whitney's like, okay, guys, enough crying. I have a big surprise. Okay, so, what is that? That looks like a boo-boo. Okay, so I have a big surprise. So half of us are gonna go to a casino, and then half of us are gonna go to a bobblehead museum. Yay, yippee! And I'm like, Yeah, I'm gonna go take a nap. Wake me up when we're going to the club. Like, what do you mean we're going to a bobblehead museum? Meanwhile, we see chaotic Brittany in her room and she's calling her boyfriend, situationship, whatever you want to call it, and he doesn't answer. But he'll answer for Angie K's friend in her DMs. And if I was Brittany, I would have told producers, you can't use this footage. Like, I'm sorry, I am not gonna be embarrassed twice on TV. You know what, just scrap me altogether. I'm not even on the show. I don't even want to be a friend of. Like, so embarrassing. Meanwhile, we see Angie K. She goes over to Bronwyn's room and she's asking her, so Bron, what's going on between you and Lisa? Is everything okay now? And Bronwyn, she is furious at Lisa. She's like, I just don't understand how I'm the bad person. Yet Lisa, she had a couple of bad words to say about Melee, the irrelevant friend of the show. Then we see in the flashback to the infamous car ride that we keep referring to from, 2 episodes ago? And Lisa sounded so bitchy in that clip. Lisa was just like, oh my God, did you guys hear about Melee at Nordstrom's? That she keeps returning and she's about to be blocked from going there anymore. She can't shop there anymore. That's so embarrassing. And I'm like, wow, Lisa, such a mean girl. But yet we're trying to paint out Bronwyn to be terrible. Heather, you're not going to say anything about Lisa? You don't care about Melee's feelings? But okay, just picks and chooses, right? And then Bronwyn said it perfectly in the confessional. It's not necessarily that I'm using Lisa's words against her. I'm just letting people know that she has certain words to say. And I'm like, ooh. And then she says, I'm not necessarily throwing Lisa underneath the bus just yet, but I am turning on the engine. And I'm like, you know what, Bronwyn, your house and your fashion may be extremely questionable. Very, very questionable, actually. Very, very, very questionable. But I think I might like you. Heather, Lisa, Meredith, and chaotic Brittany go off to the casinos to gamble. The rest of the group, they go to the bobblehead shop to do a scavenger hunt. And that activity was cute. Jared, Brittany's on-again, off-again boyfriend, situationship, whatever you want to call it. He texts her back after 10 hours and he's just like, oh, I'm sorry I didn't answer your phone call. I didn't see it. Men truly, truly disgust me. Like, you disgust me, Jared. Like, what do you mean you didn't see it? But let it be a notification on Instagram from the other bitch. I'm pretty sure you'll answer then, right? Lisa was actually a good friend because she told her, here, let me reply for you. Hey, I'm with my girls right now, having a good time. We'll talk later. But see, now, if it was me, I would have took it there. I would have told Brittany, let me see your phone for a second. I'm going to reply for you. Hey, I'm busy right now. I'm about to go meet up with this guy who is so, so handsome. He looks so much better than you. He is so muscular, and he showed me his bank account, and he has a lot of money. So I'm gonna go on a date right now with him, and if I see you, I see you. If not, toodles, make sure to feed the dogs. XOXO, Gossip Girl. And then send a quick selfie of me looking like a bad bitch. But, Brittany just, But, Heather and Meredith, they go off to the side to talk. Meredith, all of a sudden, she hears a new rumor from Whitney. And Meredith is becoming very suspicious because nobody on the cast, nobody hears these rumors that you hear, but they always come out of your mouth first. She's like, well, you know what, Heather, me and Whitney, we still have our issues or whatever about this bath bomb. But, I'm not really sure if you heard about the new rumors and the things that we were tagged in on Instagram and social media. Supposedly, Whitney, she gets her designs for her products from Alibaba. I'm like, Ali who? Alibaba. Ali who? Alibaba. Ali who, Meredith? Alibaba. Heather's in complete shock and she's like, that's not good for business. Meredith is just like, I know if we were on good terms, I would tell her how to go about things, but maybe you should tell her that, these rumors are spreading about her business. And I don't know, Meredith, it's looking like the same thing that you did with Monica last season. Just, oh, I got a DM from somebody. Monica, maybe you should push the narrative. Now you're trying to have Heather push this narrative of the Alibaba thing instead of it coming out of your mouth first to Whitney. Like, I don't know, just very suspicious. So eventually they all get together at the basketball games, the Bucks game, I believe. They have front row seats, to watch the sports team practice and everything. And they were all going crazy, taking pictures with the players. Angie K, she had on her Greek glasses, Greek cape, Greek shirt, Greek panties, Greek everything, right? Eventually they get pulled into a suite and Angie asks Mary, would you want to come to the bathroom with me? But Mary's just like, oh no, I don't use public bathrooms. And then in the confessional, she lets us know that she uses tampons instead. she kind of just sticks it in there and it kind of just absorbs. And she says to buy the extra big ones. And, I'm not an expert at that, but if anybody could confirm down in the comments if that's a thing or if that's a possible to kind of replace that similar to a diaper, please let me know. Thank you. I'm like, Mary, thank you for that information. So then eventually they sit down to watch the game. I believe Jared, chaotic Brittany's boyfriend, on again, situationship, whatever you want to call it, he calls her back finally. She's on the phone with him. She's all goo goo gaga. Meanwhile, Angie K is sitting right behind her with Bronwyn. She looks at the phone and she's like, oh, yeah, Jared, I heard so much about you. I know about you. Nice to meet you. And I'm like, meanwhile, Brittany doesn't know what she's referring to. So then Angie starts talking to Bronwyn. Again, she's literally talking right behind Brittany's back. She's like one seat behind. She's like, oh yeah, I heard that, he's cheating on her, blah, blah, blah. He was just in my friend's DMs like 2 weeks ago and now he's calling her. Like, this is crazy. And I'm like, wow, Angie, that is ruthless. Now I see why she's right in the middle, snowflake. Like, you're literally talking about this man right behind her as she's on the phone with him. That is crazy. So Brittany gives off the phone and she hears this and she's like, wait, so what's going on? I feel like this conversation is about me. And Angie, she just had to break it to her. And she's like, look, I'm sorry to tell you, but your boyfriend, situationship, whatever you want to call it, he's actually been messaging my friend back and forth not too long ago. The person who does my eyebrows. And that's that. So Brittany, you could just tell, like, on her face, it just shattered her to pieces. She gets up and she's like, give me 1 second. I need to go pee. I need to go stick a tampon in it, like Mary. Let me go. I'll leave. So then she walks away. She goes to the bathroom, and Meredith, surprisingly, she follows behind her. So in the bathroom, she's having a whole breakdown and she's crying. And I hope that this is a wake-up call that, Brittany, you need to leave him for good and stop playing this whole game of, oh, let's get back together for our 15th time. Like, no. Like, clearly he's cheating on you. There's receipts, timeline, screenshots. Let's move on to somebody else. And Meredith is trying to tell her, I mean, look, it's better than you found out now than later on in life. This man is no good for you. And I feel like, Brittany, maybe you need to go out there and date yourself. You need to go on a couple of dates. And maybe you need to go shop on Alibaba. So everybody goes back to eating in the suite. And Melee tries to give us a moment. But just like that, it's gone. Because she goes up to Lisa and she's like, so Bronwyn told me to come up to you and ask you about what you think about my fashions and what do you think about me as a person. And I'm thinking like, okay, Melee's about to give us something. She's about to give us something. It's coming. And it never arrived because Lisa was just like, what are you talking about? No, I was just being snarky. It was just a snarky comment. It was nothing serious. What are you talking about? It's just something playful. I was just being snarky. Oh, so now whenever you say something, Lisa, about somebody else that's bad or shady, it's just you being snarky. Even though in the flashback, you sounded pretty bitchy when you said that comment about Melee, but now it's just you being snarky. So was Whitney also being snarky on the podcast when she was talking about you? Was that being snarky? Is that snark? So Bronwyn, she was just like, it's just so funny that you could label that as snarky, but if I say something about Whitney, all of a sudden everybody else is coming at me, and you weren't even defending me, which I still don't really understand what Bronwyn wanted Lisa to do, because Lisa was kind of defending you, so what else did you want? So Lisa and her go back and forth, and Melee, she kind of just disappears into the shadows, and I'm like, bye, Melee. It was nice seeing you. Maybe the 4th episode you'll give us something. But Heather, she makes her way over, and Lisa's trying to explain to her the situation. And, Bronwyn was just like, it's just so funny that everybody's allowed to say anything about anybody in this group to each other about whatever. But yet, when I say something, all of a sudden I'm the villain. And, honestly, Heather, me and you, this whole group, we need to get direct on what we say. And I'm like, ooh. I'm like, now, wait a minute, Bronwyn. Those are fighting words. Even Heather was looking at her like, what do you mean we need to get direct? So they start going back and forth, and Bronwyn is taking both of them on, and Bronwyn doesn't have a point. Not with her fashions or her house, but she doesn't have a point with this, because she's like, both of you were making fun of Whitney's healing journey, as most of us do. As soon as she walked out or whatever, and, you guys were poking fun of that. But yeah, I can't say anything about how she was, basically rehearsing her lines or whatever, because now I'm a terrible person. Even though I already told Whitney what I said, and Whitney was okay with that. Whitney, even in the confessional, she was just like, I just feel like Heather, she really is having a big trust issue, especially after everything that happened with Monica. Oh, I'm not allowed to say her name. Everything that happened last year, she's like having PTSD, and it's kind of like a knee-jerk situation with her. She doesn't trust anybody that comes to this group, and if that's gonna be the case, Heather, you need to exit stage left. Because if we get new cast members, Heather's gonna think that they're gonna have to go through her to gain her trust, her approval to be on the show, to stay on the show. And if not, if they say something shady or something questionable to Heather, now all of a sudden Heather's gonna think that she's the queen of the show. She's gonna turn everybody on the show against this one person coming onto the show, and she's gonna be like, no, access denied. You need to get iced off the show, just like how we got rid of Monica. So, yeah, Heather, this is not your show. Like, yeah, you play a good part on the show, but it's just like, again, this is not like, the Real Housewives of Heather. So that was that. Let me know what you all thought about this whole entire episode down in the comments. Bye, everybody. Mwah.